Yo, good morning. Give me just 1 second. 1 second, guys. All right, guys. All right. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Bastian Suhart for all of you who do not know me. And welcome to the Inner Wealth New York session stream. Welcome, welcome. It is Halloween, October 31st, here in Utah, 7:12, and it is an outstanding. Let's see what the weather is. Doesn't want to tell me. Oh, 30 degrees today. 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius, so don't ask. Oh, wait, I can tell you what that is Celsius. Oh, it's -3 degrees Celsius. Holy crap. Yeah, Celsius makes it sound so much worse. Celsius makes it sound... Yeah, no, it's not even 30 degrees here. It is 27 degrees. So, -3 Fahrenheit. Alright, guys. Cool. So, let's jump to the dollar. And as I mentioned, this is the last... Give me 1 second. This is the last session for the month. If you see here on the right, the monthly candle has 9 hours and 46 minutes. Okay. So we still have another 9 hours and 46 minutes. Okay. So we're going to... What I'm looking at least, is because this kind of is closing like a doji. I want to see if we come down here to this monthly imbalance before we continue moving higher into this insufficiency here on the left. So maybe we get a rejection to the downside. It doesn't necessarily have to happen though. Like, we can just continue being bullish from here, and it's totally fine. But for me, it would be an ideal setup if we got a nice retracement later on in the week into this imbalance, because then I'd anticipate this being the low of the month, and we can really take this to the upside during November. October has really stalled for the last couple of weeks, ever since we started trading into this weekly insufficiency over here on the left. Since the first week of October, when we traded into this insufficiency, we've been kind of trading sideways, which again is very much anticipated. We hit a strong level of liquidity. Rejection towards the downside is something that can't be avoided, and we took some downside liquidity to continue pushing price action to the upside. So yeah, for now, as of right now, this low seems kind of far and out of the way, so I'm just gonna have it there marked out. If we come down there, cool. If not, I don't need this low to go higher. We can go higher because of this liquidity sweep on the weekly, right? And because of this major liquidity sweep on the downside. So for me, we don't need that previous monthly low or October's low to continue going higher, but it would be the ideal setup right there. Okay. I remain with my bullish outlook at 107,280. I remain bullish to those highs. And here on the daily, you guys can see my range. Okay, we did trade 50% and below, took out some internal liquidity, took out previous daily low. We are trading now into this bullish inverted insufficiency here on the left. Okay, I want to see what happens here, because we may get some sort of rejection out of this area, and we may come down some more. So if we disrespect this area and we trade above it, then I'd be looking for this area to become a level of support. But as of right now, I'm looking at it as a level of resistance that could potentially come lower, okay, deeper into this range, and maybe back into our monthly gap here. Okay, that was created way long ago. I don't know when this was created. a year ago. So a year ago, that monthly gap from a year ago. Okay, so you guys can see here we traded into the premium end of that gap here on the daily. Here on the 4-hour, once we swept that previous daily low, you guys can see, I mean, we were talking about this low yesterday. Okay, so we were talking about two points yesterday. That high right there, these previous daily highs, and this previous daily low. Okay, we acknowledged that we needed still some more internal liquidity. So despite this giving us a nice internal liquidity point, we still needed a bit more before getting this accumulation. So for me, as of right now, as long as the 4-hour closes above, I'm going to be looking for these highs yet again. And for now, I believe that we're completely ready to continue moving to the upside. That does not mean this low is the low of the week. Okay, that doesn't mean that this low is the low of the week. We can definitely spike this low, trade down here, and then move higher tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very volatile news event, so I'm not going to be surprised when we open the new month, we end up creating a big liquidity sweep, because this previous month of October has been a huge liquidity build up. So I'm anticipating this new month to really be a liquidity run for all of this consolidation. Okay, so now Fahrenheit is just sugarcoating it. Yeah, for sure, 100%. But yeah, so notice how we traded into the imbalance that was created to sweep this previous low right here, that manipulation imbalance. Okay, we traded into this manipulation imbalance here on the right. We got back into that area, and then we started accumulating towards the upside after we took some more internal liquidity. Again, getting that 4-hour closure above would be ideal for me to go long. Now in the next hour, getting a closure, if we were to take this high, and even if we didn't take, even if we did take that high, actually, I would like to see a 1-hour closure deeper into this imbalance for me to confirm bullishness, because we could reject out of here after we take this high out. Okay, so I'm being cautious of the way that we trade into this range and what we do in this range. Okay, because this is a previous area that we could distribute from. We already came in here and premium. And so I'm seeking premium range liquidity. I'm bullish and I'm seeking premium range liquidity. Okay, to confirm this bullishness. As long as we close up here on the upper quadrant of this gap, of this imbalance, I'd be feeling pretty good about continuing upwards. Okay, but if we run this high and show some pretty good rejections, then yeah, we can go a little bit deeper into that range. And that would really confirm my whole monthly bias. But I'm not looking to confirm my monthly bias. I'm just marking out areas. So if it supports my monthly bias, cool. If it doesn't, cool. It really matters not. All right. So out of the monthly, we did. One second. Out of the monthly, there's 2 points that really get my attention, and this weekly right here. One second. Not that one, and not this one. This previous weekly low still gets my attention. I want to see this gap. I want to see what happens through it. But overall, I'm thinking this gap right here, this weekly gap, will be used as resistance at some point. Once we trade down below it, we're going to come back to it and then just continue trading towards the downside. I have a feeling about that. So I remain with my weekly bias at 13,900. Okay, you guys can see a nice liquidity being built up to the downside. We got Thursday's low, Friday's low, Monday's low, and today's low, just kind of piling up to the downside. We are trading into this gap right here on the left hand side. Maybe we trade down here towards the lower end, but to me it just seems like we were building up liquidity for some bigger events. So I'm gonna stay with these lows remaining intact. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see those lows remaining intact. Maybe we take this lower out, this first one, initial one right here, 2 a.m.'s low. But overall, I want to see price action pull back to the upside and continue moving to the upside. I want to see more bullishness all the way through London tonight, which is Wednesday's London. In technical terms, it's Wednesday's London session, right? And I'd like to see the bullishness go all the way through till 8 a.m., Wednesday, or even through the New York session. But I think New York sessions tomorrow is going to be a really big liquidity buildup, as FOMC tends to be. At 50% of this gap, you guys can see we got this imbalance here. We got this previous daily low here. We got this, sorry, not imbalance, but we got this previous daily low here as well. Asian low, previous daily lows. It's still intact. Everything's still intact to the downside, which kind of fakes me to believe that we're just going to pop into this imbalance here and then just continue going. I would not be surprised if that ends up being the case. If we just pop into that imbalance and just continue pushing towards these highs. I know there's a lot of liquidity to the downside, but just understand the phases of the market. This is a consolidation. This is a nice little breakout or attempt of a breakout. Now we got to wait for a real breakout with something that really creates an imbalance towards the upside. So to me, this gap right here was the imbalance to the upside, and now we're just pulling away from it. And we found support there already. Right? We got another 36 minutes for this 4-hour candle closure. You know what? On the 4-hour, I didn't notice this, but I do see it now. This 4-hour imbalance right there. I really like that. 2 imbalances to note. This 4-hour imbalance and this 1-hour imbalance. Okay? So I'm looking at those areas there. I'm going to add an alert if we get down here. Okay, so that's really what I'm looking at for NASDAQ in terms of longs. I know we see all those liquidity down there. I know we can distribute towards those lows. It is very much possible. Okay. Distribution here on the 15-minute. Beautiful. We get to the upper quadrant of that gap. Get a nice 1, 2, 3 stab. 1, 2, 3. Getting some distribution for sure. Will we head towards these lows? If we do, I'll probably not be a part of it. Like I said, maybe towards the first low, or maybe towards that blue shaded area here, this gap, new week opening gap. But besides that, I'm not that attracted to what I'm seeing in terms of shorting. The targets are obvious. I just think the timing's off. Looking at the economic calendar, I feel like our timing would be a little off if I try to short it this early in the week. Let's move over to Dow Jones. All right. So on Dow, got very similar expectations on Dow. Except on Dow, we actually do have a daily range, which I do like a lot. So 50% and above is this high. You guys can see it here. And we have this gap right there. I'm not sure why it's not showing. But we also have this gap right above that. That one right there. Oh, right? If I'm not mistaken. 1 second. Let me just do the my head's not mathing right now. 1 second. I knew it was right here. Let's see, Fridays and open. Yeah. Bearish closure, bullish opening. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Right there. All right, which is also resting 50% and above. So, you know, we'll look at 50% and above. We have this current range right here. Still, in structure wise, we're pretty good in terms of liquidity. We did come 50% and above of that. And, you know, we're trading into this bearish order block here with some internal liquidity and a gap. Okay. Again, I'm more wanting to see more longs. But if the shorts happen, I mean, this is the place for them to take place. I just don't feel like we have a lot of relative liquidity up here. So that's kind of my thing. I want to see more longs. But maybe the longs happen below the lows. Maybe in the discount, because this is our weekly range. Maybe it takes place in the discount of this imbalance. Right? On the lower end of this imbalance or gap. I'm going to note this imbalance here. We got an imbalance towards the downside, an imbalance towards the upside here. Then when we close above that imbalance, notice how we trade right back into that imbalance. So to me, this is a balanced price range. Something new I've been studying. I don't have enough content for me to release like a lecture on it. But I will be talking about this balanced price range a little bit more. So ideally, I wouldn't want price action to come down here anymore because that to me is balanced out already. So we're going to leave that there. And I wouldn't want to see, I wouldn't want to see price action go that low yet, right? Not until we take some more upside liquidity. So we'll see what happens here. Dow ended up going long yesterday into the previous daily high, and then long again today to the previous daily high. Deeper into this range, deeper into this push up. We're, you know, into this breaker, bearish breaker right here. We already traded 50% and above of that to the upper quadrant of it. We traded right to that new week opening gap, previous daily high, and boom, just melts. So yeah, so just more longs for me today. That's what I'm looking at through till tomorrow. We got another couple seconds before the opening. 20 seconds before the opening price. And as I mentioned, I'm just long across the board. More longs. S&P looks so good to just continue going long. Yeah, S&P to me looks the best to continue going long to that upside. From this hourly imbalance here. There's the opening price. Dow taking out this low right here. So notice that you're saying on Dow looking at Asian lows. At least on my broker, the Asian lows have already been taken. So this is pre-London low. But Asian goes from 6 p.m. to midnight. And then Asian got taken out by pre-London right there. So Dow taking out the low is pretty good divergence right there. I would really like to see that kind of stand, and then these guys accumulate out of the preferred areas or the noted areas that I was given earlier. If we get a nice accumulation on NASDAQ, I'd really like that. Just took it. Jeez. Yeah, as I mentioned, Dow taking out that low, and the other one's not taking out that low. I really like that bullish divergence. So I'm just looking for more longs across the board. I like this turtle soup long right here a lot. Yeah, I do believe that this is going to pop off to the upside. It's going to keep going long from this small little break. Let me pull up. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up my MetaTrader. And again, I'm not taking any trades till after 10 a.m. As you guys know, I don't take any trades till after 10 a.m. But that long on Dow looks clean. Divergence, then the long. It just looks clean in my eyes. Below the low. There it is. Kind of going back and forth, building up some liquidity, I'm guessing. Came into this imbalance, previous area of distribution. You guys remember last week how we were talking about how, or maybe like a week or two ago, I was talking to you guys about how like I wasn't gonna smoke anymore, and I was gonna try to get clean and not smoke. And I haven't been smoking, but and I want to just share my thoughts with you guys. I do feel a lot more mental clarity, less brain fog, more mental clarity. It's been pretty fun. My energy is coming back hard. Every time I used to stop smoking, I've always had a hard time like sleeping. And this time around, man, like I left one habit for another, and so I stopped smoking and I got my ass back in the gym. And honestly, like the energy is not even an issue. Like I have no energy deficiency problem. Looks like Nasdaq's going for that low as well, or wants to head for that low as well. And it was just really interesting to me because, you know, I hear a lot that most people don't like to stop smoking because they're sleeping, eating, or all that stuff. But honestly, as I've demanded more of my body's demanded more of me, and so my body requires more energy now, and I just get hungry. I get hungry as hell. My appetite's coming back. It's like, I don't know, it was a good replacement, you know. So it's been pretty cool so far. That 4 hour imbalance here. trading down into it. S&P, previous daily high. Dow, previous daily high. NASDAQ didn't take out the previous daily high. Interesting. NASDAQ heading for that low. Dow just kind of staying stagnant after it took out that. Oh, Dow went into our 4-hour imbalance. There it is. And again, I'm just waiting for 9 a.m. But you can see the daily, how it's shaping up to be very beautiful. If we do hold out shorts, I mean, beautiful. In terms of structure, just previous area of distribution, liquidity into that previous area of distribution, short. Yeah, I mean, if we end up shorting for the day, that'd be cool. Probably won't take anything. Just because I don't trust that the lows are all going to get taken. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not going to lie, chat. I'm not convinced. One second. Let me fix this real quick. Honestly, I haven't done my biases. My daily bias. I haven't journaled it. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of forgot. I forgot because I went to the gym this morning. I'm not gonna lie too. Yeah. I felt like I got so much done in the morning, but I just went to the gym and that's it. Got my ass up at 5 a.m. Went to the gym. Got back enough time to go wake up the kids to go to school. Wake them up. Get them ready. Eat. Then got to the stream. And here we are. Productive morning. I like the Dow's reaction. I'm not gonna lie. Dow's reaction is pretty good. Don't be surprised if NASDAQ leaves all those lows. Do not be surprised if NASDAQ leaves all those lows. I'm not sure what part you're talking about, Zach. I'm not sure what part you're talking about. I think you're talking about the weed part, but I could be wrong. This bullish imbalance here. There it is. If NASDAQ accumulates, I might take this long. I'm not going to lie to you guys. NASDAQ accumulates, I'll take the long. We also do have the 4-hour about to close in like 18 minutes. So there's also that. Kind of want to wait for those 18 minutes. See how this 4-hour closes. Because if we close below this imbalance, then yeah, bearish. Just really depends. Dow coming into that imbalance here. You got this breaker right here. Bullish breaker. Just watching order flow. It's really, I like it. I love watching order flow like this. 5 minute. Here's the 15 minute on S&P. Here is, again, don't be surprised if NASDAQ does this and completely misses that low. NASDAQ showing this bit of accumulation. Really, what would really be good for NASDAQ in terms of bullishness is if we got a closure above that imbalance right there. You know, and we got to run on these highs right here. Dow really just trading down. Let's see what it looks like here on the 5 minute. You guys can see this 5 minute imbalance. Right? 5 minute imbalance right there. Boom. So it looks like, to me, it looks like Dow's just going to continue moving lower and potentially use these same imbalances to move to the downside. Let's go to DXY. DXY took out that high. I want to see if full body closure on the upper quadrant of this imbalance. I don't want to see an imbalance being respected, this gap being respected. The fuck's this gap measuring? Was it a daily imbalance? Oh, it was a daily imbalance. I was like, what the fuck is that measuring? Okay, cool. Yeah, it was a daily imbalance between this high and this low, I believe. Oh, that low right there. Boom. Right, because getting a distribution here, and these guys are going long pretty hard, right, as we anticipated. Honestly, it would really support our whole long bias on the indices. So I really like what I'm seeing right now on DXY, getting this rejection towards the downside, getting a nice accumulation. Look at EU failed to take out that low. DXY did take out that high. I see bullish divergence on EU. I'd be looking for accumulation on EU right now. I'd actually want to take EU. Put my stop loss right below that imbalance low. Trust that it wouldn't get back in there. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to take EU. It'd be a fat ass stop loss though for me right now. We'll see what happens in this imbalance. If we get some accumulation in this imbalance, I'd go long with my stop loss below that imbalance. Keep an eye on EU for me, guys. Keep an eye on EU. Let me know what you guys see. Please don't tell me about a 1 minute or 30-second accumulation. But keep an eye on it. I want to see what happens in this insufficiency. They don't know anything above the 1 minute. Gerardo's in EU. I like the EU longs, bro. I like the EU longs a lot. Not gonna lie. I hope they stick. Because, yeah, this thing... I like the way we're moving towards the downside. For me, DXY, a bearish closure on this bullish imbalance would do everything for me. And then I'd go long on indices. Yeah, I want to see DXY return to the lower quadrant of this whole move. I honestly want to see it get back into this blue shaded box. So I'm bearish on dollar. And I'm going to journal that because I haven't journaled yet. I'm going to see some more lows. Okay, and then on NASDAQ, I want to see these longs. And yeah, it might be on the opposite side of the market today. That's fine. I'm not in the biggest hurry to take a trade today. Not in this week. Or at least, especially not today. Because today's the end of the month. You want to close out your month good. You don't want to close out a month with negatives. Yeah. Dow back into that blue shaded box. I'm going to delete this right here. Cool. Yeah, I want to see Dow back into that blue shaded box. Some bullish divergence on Dow. And indices. So. Really cool. Let's wait after the hour. Would be an extra confirmation if a Dow took out the previous low, or NASDAQ or S&P take out that previous hourly low. That'd be nice. 4 hours about to close, either bearish or bullish on Dow. Next 10 minutes. Dow could really just melt. It really can, but we'll see. Dow might be the only one that I don't see taking out more highs right now. Just because of how bearish it's about to close. DXY respecting that 15-minute imbalance. So I'm guessing EU is also coming down. That's what I was saying. Keep an eye on EU to see if we get our accumulation. But if we don't, then it is what it is. Keep an eye on EU. Yeah, still keep an eye on EU. I believe on this bullish divergence. NASDAQ still respecting that bearish imbalance. You have that 5 minute ended up respecting nicely. And look how we use those minute imbalances to push lower. Look. We trade below it, we come back into it to the downside. Then we trade below it, come back into it, then downside. It's beautiful. We got another 8 minutes before 10 a.m. Dow is just continuing to go to the downside. NASDAQ moving towards that low, taking out the low. From that 1 minute imbalance, we ended up just respecting and pushing lower. It looks like it might be a melt off today. Again, I won't be participating if we short. I won't be participating if it's short today. Just a lot of liquidity to the upside. That one. S&P heading towards that low. DXY ended up just pushing through. And this is how I was telling you guys. If we close on the upper quadrant of this gap, I believe we're just going to push higher and just keep going. And then some EU shorts from really early in the morning. Really fucking early are going to end up playing out. Yeah. I remain bearish on EU. I don't know if you guys remember this, but throughout this whole range, I've remained bearish. I want to see these lows get fucking clapped. I wanted to see the lows on indices as well, but not today. And then we may get them today, which I'm kind of surprised about. Kind of makes me think that we're going to have some bullish news. Let's just wait till 9 a.m. I mean 10 a.m. Give me 1 sec. I'm just going to drink some tea real quick and grab a bite. Five more minutes. Jesus, did you guys see SET's tweet? Let me just show it to you guys real quick. That shit made me sad yesterday. I was listening to his live stream, and that shit was emotional at the end. Here it is. There it is. 12 hours from now. That was at 9 a.m. Eastern. So at 9 p.m. tonight, 12 hours from now, my last YouTube upload drops. Last one. Pre-recorded, no live stream. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's his last one? Or do you guys think he's going to keep going? What are your guys' thoughts? Do you guys think he's going to stop right there or keep going? Keep going? His talk yesterday was very clear on why he's gonna stop doing it. It's not because he wants to. It's because he has to. He's basically got no other choice but to stop streaming. He's going to keep going next year. I don't think in the same way. He's made it very clear too that he's not gonna keep going in the same way. So he's gonna be active next year, but in terms of like mentorship, I don't think that's the same thing. Why does he have to? So from my understanding is his family is getting harassed quite a bit and have gotten harassed over the years substantially, like quite a bit. And you guys know, I mean, it's ICT. You gotta separate the guy from the concepts. You really do. Sometimes I listen to, some things he says, sometimes I don't. I just listen to what helps me and I can utilize for my benefit, and so you got to separate the guy from the concept, because I guess him and his wife, his kids have gotten harassed quite a bit. One of his kids moved away from the city because of how much people harassed her about ICT, about your dad and all this stuff. Your dad said that he got kidnapped. And so, and then on top of that, he has students that really like him that are going to his house and, sharing where he lives and all this stuff. And so I think in terms of like the clout, I don't think he minds it as much as his family does. So for the sake of his family, his marriage, well, mainly his marriage, he's gonna stop because his wife is really uncomfortable with everything that's been happening to them lately. She's just really, really uncomfortable. Plus, their son got in a motorcycle accident, so that I'm sure got her up in her feelings. So it's just like, he got offered an ultimatum. He was told by his wife, you either choose to be an influencer or choose to stay with this family, and which was, to me, in my eyes, a really fucked up ultimatum. But at the same time, it'd be really fucked up for him to want to stay with his wife and ask her to stay in this type of lifestyle. You know what I mean? So it's selfish in both ways. No matter how you slice it, there's a little bit of selfishness in there, but you have to be a little bit selfish to win. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to do those type of things, like those little selfish things, like his wife, like asking him to leave what he loves doing. Because he expressed yesterday, he expressed how much he loves teaching, how much like he loves hearing from his students. Like he was expressing it yesterday. It was really heartwarming. And I've always felt like he liked it. I mean, why else would you why would you keep going? Right? I've always known he loved it. So why else would you keep going? This is 10 a.m. Upper quadrant. Look how we went to that upper quadrant. I'm not convinced. This previous area of distribution could give us a distro still. 4 hour. Nah, we're going to trade through that. We'll see. But so far, this area needs to be traded through as well. But I'm pretty bullish. It's just the start of the hour is surprising to be so bullish. If we're going to have a bullish candle, you ideally want the first few minutes to be a drop, not a hike. Right? So if we stay up here for the first 15 minutes and distribute, I'm going to look for, again, the low that I originally mentioned. But yeah, man, that's kind of why, for those of you who didn't know about ICT, like that's why he's leaving the space, the influencing space, because there's just a little bit too much harassment going on. It's understandable, very understandable. He built up a lot of hate. He really did, and he built his community around a lot of, well, devoting a lot of his energy to the haters. So the haters got more and more attention, and I think it just became at the point where it wasn't even enjoyable. So yeah, and the man started crying yesterday at the end of his stream. Pretty sure he ended with, while he started getting really emotional, and he ended the stream. But yeah, it was mainly due to the fact that his family's getting harassed out here. So yeah, man's got an ultimatum. It's either him, his students, or his wife. And I don't know if you guys follow ICT. He loves his wife. He loves his wife. He may be a boss and everything, but she definitely wears the pants. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm definitely not bagging on the fact that that's the case. I'm still seeing bullish divergence. Nasdaq took out the low. Dow took out the low. S&P failed to take out the low. What would really confirm this is the 9 a.m. If all of them keep that 9 a.m. low intact, then yeah, we would probably be looking at some pretty good accumulation. If all those 9 a.m. lows get taken out, I expect this one to get taken out on S&P as well. Yeah, his last video for 2023. I have to catch up. I think I'm on for the 2023 mentorship. I think I'm like on video at like 78, 79. I'm like 10 to I think he has over 100 in there now. So I'm like 20 episodes behind. And luckily, I saw a couple of them, and thank goodness they were like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes long. I think those are execution videos. But after that, he's got like 3, 4, 2-hour streams. I'm like, damn. I feel him though. He did say that it's a lot easier to just go live than it is to like record and edit a video, and it really is, guys. It truly is. It's so much easier to just go live. That's why I mainly structured my channel around going live, because it's so much easier going live than it is to sit there, record a 30-minute video, edit it for another 30 minutes to an hour, and then upload it for like half the amount of views. So it's, yeah, there is, depending on your amount of your goals and everything, yeah, it's probably a lot easier to just go live. Nothing yet for me. I don't see anything so far. S&P took out 9 a.m. low. Dow took 9 a.m. low. Nasdaq heading towards that 9 a.m. low. Again, all of them taking that 9 a.m. low. I'd just be looking for shorts for the rest of the day then. And like I said, my bias could be totally off, but that's just kind of what I'm seeing. That's the 9 a.m. low here on Nasdaq. and it's still standing. Not really seeing any signs of bullishness on EU. There it is. So we took an NEM's low, and I just want to see a displacement towards the upside. Right, so really this candle right here looks pretty nice, and then this displacement right here is good enough for me. So if we return back into this bottom side on S&P, I would be looking for longs to take out all this buy side liquidity right here, or sell side liquidity, sorry. Okay, same with Nasdaq. We got a nice accumulation there, nice divergence. And I was just on the EU, and indices are moving right now, so I'm not going to switch over to EU just yet. But this is what I wanted to see on indices, so I'm going to stay focused at the moment, and then we'll go to EU. Just 1 second. If you guys don't see the screen moving, it's because I'm on my MT4. Okay, 1 minute imbalance on Nasdaq. I really like that area right there. And this breaker right here, kind of lining up with it. Yeah, if we get a return back into that imbalance, I will be taking Nasdaq. With my stop loss below that breaker. This looks like a really good trade. Anybody in on any of these? I felt like our bias was so on point, man. Alright, now I got time to go to EU. Yeah, I'm still looking at EU longs. EU longs. Bullish divergence with DXY. Matter of fact, EU longs might be the move. Yeah, I'm gonna take EU. I am on EU. Yeah, I am in EU. Just took it off this 1 hour imbalance. Plus that divergence on the lower quadrant. I'm just looking for that 50% or that orange line again on EU. But I'm not looking for anything super long term. Remember that it's FOMC tomorrow. Liquidity will be built up, and I'm just looking for that 1 to 4. Let's see. Let's call it a 1 to 5. Okay, I'm about to set my take profit here on mine. This kind of looks a little different on my end, on the broker side. Give me 1 second. There we are. You know, if you're looking at indices, indices are also, you know, looking very nicely. Just, I don't think they're ready yet. I mean, they are ready, but I think they popped off way hard. They popped off way hard, and it looked like they're gonna hit my target before anything. Before I even get an entry. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I took Nas on that 1 minute FEG on the low. Nice. I want to hear the shot. The shots. Want to hear the shot. EU. We'll see how EU does. You know, I don't really trade EU too much, so. Yesterday I did get clapped on the longs on NASDAQ. Yeah, I was long on NASDAQ yesterday, and it stopped me out once, and then it stopped me out twice, and I was just like, damn. And then after I left the charts, my alerts for my take profit hit. And so I got my, you know, hit profit fucking alert. I'm not gonna lie, I got a pretty tight stop on EU. Yeah. That 4 hour. This right here on the 4 hours is important. This is actually pretty crucial for our closure. Now closing bearish on this 4 hour right now would be fucking sweet. If that was the case, honestly, I would be looking for beyond the current high on EU. If this closes bearish on the 4 hour and we respect bearishness here on this 4 hour right now and the next 45 minutes on DXY, I mean, I'd be looking at the low to get taken out, the high to get taken out on EU. I feel like we haven't taken a trade together in forever. Usually the trades have been happening after we leave the session. Nice 15-minute distro on DXY. Who's on NAS? Somebody told me that they got in on NAS, like 1 minute accumulation down here. That's really clean. Shout out to you if you guys got on NAS. NAS was the one that I wanted to get into. You know, I like this imbalance on NASDAQ. And I like this low right here. If we took out this low on NASDAQ and then went higher, I'd be looking at this imbalance for my stop loss. Okay. And I'd be looking for price to seek out these highs right here. And even in this range right here, I'd be looking for premium liquidity. EU's really just at a 1-to-1 right now. Not really doing anything. No entry on indices. Yeah, I didn't really see that. Bro, what scenarios determine the PM session going to have the overall move? It's when the indices are stagnant. Most of the time, it's like when the indices are stagnant during the morning session and create liquidity during the morning session. The afternoon session tends to have the volatility. I can give you an example. It happens almost every week. I mean, it's been happening a lot lately, so I can definitely give you an example. Like this. Look, I mean, we did not leave this fucking liquidity range throughout the whole morning session. Look at that. Right? And then after, well, 11 a.m. comes in, then we move. Right? So all the way from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we really didn't do anything there. The range, see this range right here? Price action was just ranging in there until we took it out. You see that? We took out the upside, then we took the downside. We took the upside at 10:30, then we took the downside after lunch, and then we made the move after lunch. Very stagnant, very back and forth. Essentially, like if the daily by the PM session looks like a doji that hasn't swept much liquidity, then you're probably looking at a PM session. See that? Just kind of liquidity buildup, then 1 p.m. hits and we melt. Really good question, though. Really, really good question. Price action is coming back on EU. 5-minute accumulated. 15-minute did accumulate as well. We got a 50-minute candle with another 10 minutes in it. What is the XY doing? Respecting this 15-minute imbalance. Look. What do I think about shorts on US30? I think that they could work out. I mean, I see where shorts could come in from this inverted imbalance and then this balance range right here. I could see where that, yeah. I think they're probable. If any of the indices were to short, it'd be Dow. Let me just put it that way. But personally, I see bullish divergence across the board, so I'm not touching any shorts. That's just me, though. That doesn't mean you guys don't touch the shorts. Please don't take everything I say like that, you know? That just means, like, I personally just, given my current confirmations, I'm looking for longs. And preferably out of this 5-minute imbalance on NASDAQ. I mean, on Dow. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck happened to that imbalance. There it is. And if you were looking for shorts, I'd preferably like to see a closure below this imbalance before we look for shorts. Yeah. If any of them were to short, it'd be Dow. There is a imbalance here on the 15-minute as well, I'm going to note. That we can get down to as well. DXY coming into this previous area of distribution from this 15-minute imbalance, creating some downside liquidity. For me, it looks pretty probable to continue shorting. I would love if we just continue shorting. It would support our EU. EU kind of sitting right there. On EU, I'm going to put my stop loss below this 5-minute imbalance. Just reducing my risk on that. Just right below that 5-minute imbalance. If we do get stopped out, it would only be for like a couple $100. That's it. Similar bias on S&P. This imbalance right here gets my attention for more longs. Right below all that liquidity. Some longs out of there. If I'm looking at this imbalance for an entry, I'm looking at it 50%. Stop loss below the imbalance. DXY struggling to short. Very stagnant right now. Took out 9 AM's high on Dow. Didn't take out 9 AM's high on S&P or NASDAQ. Interesting. Since I'm already in on EU, I'm not going to double down my risk, especially not today, the day right before FOMC. I had a different markup here on NASDAQ on my continuous contract one. Just seeing if this whole pattern creates a... Now we got the displacement that we've been just trading away from again and again. And really, I just want to see another leg to the upside right here. Just expand to this imbalance right here, 50%. Previous daily highs seem like a really good objective today. Not gonna lie. But again, look at all this liquidity towards the downside that we've built up so far. So it's not surprising if we build upside liquidity as well. You know what I mean? Not just one side's gonna get built up. Both sides have the potential of getting built up. Price action dropping. DXY respecting this 15-minute imbalance. Will it respect this 5-minute imbalance? We'll see. As long as my stop loss doesn't get taken. Turn of the hours coming up here in like 2 minutes. But yeah, it should be, hopefully that makes sense, bro, in terms of like the AM to PM session, like how to transition. I believe that's like the best way to do it, man. Is just kind of looking at the PM session, or the AM session will tell you whether the PM session is going to have a good one or not. And usually it's when you don't see any entries, you know what I mean, in the morning. Usually the PM session will give you some. This NASDAQ entry was nasty. I might just fuck around and get in there on my other account. This isn't my main account, just letting you guys know. Or actually, there we go. Nice 1 and 3. I'm taking a couple of contracts or just one contract off right here. I'm gonna get up to this upper area. DXY melting. EU finally doing something. Five-minute bearish imbalance on Dow. We never overtook the bullish imbalance, but they did create a little bearish imbalance there on the 5-minute. For anybody that did go short on Dow. Choose your side, DXY. Choose your side. DXY still respecting that 15-minute imbalance. Just letting you guys know that bullish 15-minute imbalance on DXY is still standing. meaning that we can definitely drop lower on EU and drop lower across the indices. So looks like Nasdaq is gonna go down lower. Or trying to go lower. Dow, S&P took out that low as well. And S&P also made it to 50%. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to see an accumulation out of 50% of that imbalance. Stop loss below the low, targeting those highs. Easy peasy trades. Really easy trades. That if they don't hit, you can just be done for the day. You know what I mean? Like, these are easy setups that if they don't hit, order flow is not there, and you just stay out of the market. I do believe that we're going to pop up higher on DXY. So I'm going to close EU. Okay. Personally closing EU. Oh, fuck. Where is it? Okay. Just literally at break even. It went right to my entry. Nasdaq I am gonna leave just in case, just because I already have risk in here. This is my other account, but I'm gonna leave Nasdaq. This one, if it hits stop loss, I don't really mind. The other one I did mind a little bit, just because it's EU. Yeah. DXY. Respecting that 15-minute imbalance. Look at the way we came right back down to that 15-minute imbalance one more time. And now we're pushing higher. One last time. Look at that. The last 15-minute candle. Look where it last touched. And canceled, executed. I'm pretty sure sold. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I got stopped out of those. All good, all good. I still believe on the setup. I'm not going to lie. Still believe in the setup. Just going to wait. Yeah, if there was any of them to short, it was Dow, as I mentioned. That would probably be the only one that I really liked for the shorts. It's because of these imbalances right here. The way that they overlapped each other. Dow took 9 a.m.'s high. And the Nasdaq failed to take 9 a.m.'s high. It's this one right here. And S&P failed to take 9 a.m.'s high. So divergence right now got me going back and forth. So I'm not taking any more trades today. Both the areas that I would have liked to take are getting traded right through. So yeah, I'm not adding any more liquidity to this. Keep the targets intact though. I do believe that it's going to happen the same way as yesterday, where yesterday price action came back twice for me. I initially took some longs yesterday out of this 5-minute accumulation right here. 5-minute imbalance. I took it right here on the right, and it took me right out. and it went long, hit my target. Then I took another long right here. Then I took another long right somewhere here. Damn, I forgot where. It was some other imbalance here on the right hand side. Oh, right here. It was another 5-minute imbalance right there. 5-minute imbalance right here. And the same thing. Same thing. It went. It came back, liquidated almost the whole range, and then it went towards my targets. I was just aiming for this high. 50% liquidity and above. Yeah, I believe something similar will happen today as well. And I'm going to journal this. I'm going to journal all of these because honestly, FOMC, Monday, Tuesday are starting to be really unlikely days for me, to the point where I would even consider removing them, just like I did NFP. I removed NFP Thursdays, so the day right before NFP are no trading days for me. It's like I treat it like a bank holiday type of thing. Yeah, I mean, that's it for me, at least. Look at all this upside liquidity. I think that stop loss would have gotten hit regardless. Yeah. It's respect and everything. Yeah, honestly, not a market condition that I want to continue to be a part of. The shorts on Dow, to whoever called that out, are clean. But I'm still long for the day. Believe it or not. Sorry guys, but I'm still long for the day. I do think that essentially the longs will play out. It's just not right now. And that happened to me yesterday, and it is what it is. You know, yesterday it happened after 1 p.m. again. Will it happen today again where it's like after 1 p.m.? Probably. I won't be surprised. We're just kind of right back to where we were at the start of the session. At the start of the session, we were here. And so kind of in the same range. We haven't taken out the low. We haven't taken out the high. Nasdaq, same thing. We haven't taken out the low or high. So just kind of in this consolidation phase right now. But for me, it's the longs. You guys have no idea of my urge to want to pull it again. It's all good though. Yeah, the urge to want to pull it again. I'm down 1/4% on my challenge. I'm down 1/4% on my challenge. Oh, we got them fibs traders. There's always one or two. Nice breaker reaction. Oh shit, wrong tool. That one's a nice breaker reaction right there. Dow breaker reaction also. S&P breaker reaction. OTE, yeah. Yeah, there's always some Fibonacci traders. I got my boy Byron too. He's a Fibonacci trader. I'm in on Dow from the breaker. Nice. Yeah, I got my boy Byron too. He trades the OTE pattern quite a bit. I took Nas. You guys are making me FOMO. Ugh. Nasdaq's fucking bussing. Closing the fucking call, guys. Fuck this. My heart. Nah, later on today, all my like take profit targets are gonna get like all my alerts, take profit alerts are gonna hit. All my fucking take profit alerts are gonna hit. What if? Nah, this is cool. I'll be chilling. I'm gonna leave it there, honestly. But whoever is in the longs, shout out to you guys. I'm glad. Trustyourself.com. If I wouldn't have took 2 and basically got stopped out on 2, I would definitely be in. But I don't like shooting it more than twice. It's kind of too much. 2 setups. Yo, Nasdaq's busting. Just bah. I love Nasdaq. She's the lover right there. That's the one. Right to those first highs. It's a nice 1 to 6. To the upper quadrant, liquidity is a nice 1 to 7. And to the final daily objective, it's a nice 1 to 8. So if you guys are trading that, just remember, pay yourselves. And am I muted? Am I? Jeez, if I've been muted for this whole time, that would suck. Because the question would be now, how long have I been muted? But I don't think I'm muted. Yeah, I don't think I'm muted. It'd just be funny as fuck. Okay, cool. Yeah. I figured I could see the sound coming in to the call. So, oh, now we did take 9 a.m. high across the board. But yeah, I'm just gonna stay out, guys. I'm personally out for the count. All right, so it is what it is for me. The rest of the week holds out higher probabilities. Ah, man, I just accidentally hit myself where I fell on my scooter, and like there's no, you can just tell that there was a scar there. Everything healed nicely, but when I touch there, fuck, it hurts, man. It's my trading hand. I'm always really upset I hurt my trading hand. Alright, guys, so I'm going to call it a stream. So whoever's about to take some profit, shout out to you. Naz is the one. Yeah. That imbalance there. Alright, guys, but I have to head out, unfortunately. I didn't have that much time today. I have to head out and run some errands. Sad story. But these trades were nice across the board. The long, like I said, I just believed in the longs, not because of the XY, but the way that indices have been trading, you know? And according to my study, this study right here, this is a study case, and you guys will follow it with me. According to my study, we should have a breakaway out of this area. So, I don't just see these highs getting traded to, I see them getting traded through and into that upper quadrant. So we'll see how this study case goes, but I'll keep you guys updated on everything. I'm gonna call it good just because I gotta go run one errand, but I'm gonna be right back home because I got a one-on-one here soon, but I gotta go run this quick errand. So I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please don't expect anything out of tomorrow. Today was exciting though. Today was exciting. Low expectations tomorrow, okay? For New York session. I would even say 0 expectations for New York session tomorrow, all right? But again, I love you guys. Trade responsibly. Clap easy. Shout out to those who did catch it. Those longs look like they're going to pop off. And yeah, man. Don't overtrade. It's Monday and Tuesday. Don't overtrade it. Don't over leverage yourself. Okay? Take care, guys.